accident. I'm a private pilot based in Los Angeles and quite familiar with flying in the area, and I wanted to know more about the flight to perhaps get a better idea of what may have happened. I'm sure many out there feel the same way. So I downloaded the flight's KML data from Flight Radar 24 and entered that data into Google Earth Studio to get an approximate idea of the final 5 minutes of the flight. I figured I'd post my results on YouTube to help others get a better understanding as well. And just to emphasize, this video is not monetized and is for the sole purpose of getting a better idea about what may have happened. So let's first step back to the overhead view to see the flight path, which originated from John Wayne Orange County Airport. Also, while my renders don't show the weather conditions, it's important to know that it was really foggy with a low cloud layer over the entire LA basin that day. This flight was flown under VFR flight rules, which means the helicopter legally needed 3 miles of visibility and had to remain 500 feet below the cloud layer. As it neared the Burbank Class C airspace, which was reporting IFR conditions at the time, the helicopter asked for a lesser-known request, known as Special VFR, in order to proceed.
72 Echo X-ray, Burbank Tower, Burbank altimeter 3019, Burbank Class Charlie, surface area is IFR, say intentions.
Yes, we can maintain Special VFR action for Special VFR transition on the 101 westbound 2 Echo.
November 2 Echo X-ray, hold outside Burbank Class Charlie airspace. I have an aircraft going around.
2 Echo X-ray holding.
Special VFR must specifically be requested by the pilot to ATC and, for helicopters, allows them to simply remain clear of clouds and fly in less than 1 mile visibility. The pilot couldn't enter the Burbank airspace until that request was approved. That meant having to hold outside the airspace for about 15 minutes until ATC could clear out incoming IFR airplanes landing at Burbank.
It's going to be a little bit. I got a citation on a 9-mile final, and then the go-around that I just had is going to be turning base to final in about 3 minutes.
Okay, we'll continue holding 2 Echo X-ray.
November 2 Echo X-ray, and for your planning purposes, you can expect...
For you, ma'am, anything.
I just spoke with Van Nuys on the line, and they've got multiple IFR departures coming off of runway 16, so you can expect to follow the 5 north and cross that way.
2 Echo X-ray, no problem.
317 Pop-Up Burbank Tower. You can expect a few minutes. I got a special VFR helicopter I need to get transitioning. He's been holding for about 15 minutes. South, northwest, follow the 5 freeway, maintain special VFR conditions at or below 2,500.
Maintain special VFR at or below 2,500 I-5 northbound 2 Echo X-ray.
Number 2 Echo X-ray, roger, and you're cleared through Burbank Class Charlie surface area from the southeast to the northwest.
Copy that, we'll maintain special VFR, copter 2 Echo X-ray.
X-ray, for your transition to Camarillo, did you just want to follow the 118?
118, and then we'll loop around Van Nuys to catch the 101 2 Echo X-ray.
Number 2 Echo X-ray, roger. Number 2 Echo X-ray, continue following the 5 northwestbound to join the 118, and then Van Nuys will work you through. Radar services terminated. Remain that squawk. Contact Van Nuys helicopters 119.0.
2 Echo X-ray, switch you to Van Nuys. Van Nuys helicopter 2 Echo X-ray with you for the special VFR transition. We are currently at 1400.
Helicopter 72 Echo X-ray, Van Nuys Tower. Wind calm, visibility 2 1/2, ceiling 1,100 overcast, Van Nuys altimeter 3016. Cleared into Van Nuys Class Delta, northeast of Van Nuys along the 118 freeway westbound. Advise when you're in VFR conditions or when you're clear of the Van Nuys Class Delta. Transition at or below 2,500 permitting.
2 Echo X-ray, advise in VFR condition, and then we'll stay on the 118, we're currently at 1400, and we have 0235.
Helicopter 2 Echo X-ray, thank you. And once you clear Van Nuys Delta, did you want to talk to SoCal?
Affirmative, 2 Echo X-ray. Tower report 2 Echo X-ray, can we go ahead and start turning to the southwest close to 11?
Helicopter 2 Echo X-ray, approved. And are you transitioning in VFR condition?
VFR condition 1,500, 2 Echo X-ray.
Helicopter 2 Echo X-ray, thank you. Contact SoCal now 134.2 for flight following 34-2.
34-2.
The helicopter then transitioned Burbank and Van Nuys airspace, and that's where we pick up with the Google Earth view.
X-ray ident. So X-ray, yeah, you're still on a 1200 code. Are you requesting flight following?
It's important to note that while I pulled this data directly from the actual flight track, this is simply my interpretation of how it looked. At this point, The helicopter is generally flying around 1,200 feet MSL and approximately 130 knots. Van Nuys weather at the time was showing 2.5 miles of visibility with overcast clouds at 1,300 feet above ground level, which would be about 2,100 feet above sea level.
2 Echo X-ray, what do you say intentions? 2 Echo X-ray, you're still too low level for flight following at this time.
I'll speed up the footage a little here as the helicopter continues through the San Fernando Valley, passing over the 405 freeway. The helicopter heads southwest until meeting up with the 101 freeway and begins to follow that westbound. And it makes sense. The terrain to the west is mountainous, and the 101 is the lowest and safest route through the mountains. The problem is that the cloud layer was low enough that day that not only were a lot of the mountains obscured, but the rising terrain could have possibly prevented them from getting through the pass while remaining clear of clouds. The helicopter is flying quite low at this point, approximately 500 feet above the ground by my estimation. You might be wondering if it's legal to fly this low. While the FAA restricts fixed-wing airplanes from flying below 1,000 feet in a congested area, helicopters don't have that restriction due to their unique operating characteristics. Please remember again that while this was pulled from the actual radar data, this visualization is my estimation and should not be considered as fact. As we get close to the rising terrain, I should note that the mountains around here get as high as 2,800 feet. So if the cloud layer was 2,100 feet, there would most certainly be mountain obscuration in the area. It starts getting uncomfortably low at this point, and I'm guessing that it soon became apparent that flying this route visually was not going to work. Here you can see the helicopter climbing to gain altitude. My guess is that by this point they were in the clouds. The helicopter then makes a climbing left turn, presumably to head back to the lower terrain. If indeed they were flying in the clouds at this point, it would have been quite disorienting to switch from flying visually to relying on the instruments alone. The helicopter then quickly loses altitude, and the last recorded target is right before it impacts the mountain. I hope this video was able to give you a better idea of what may have happened, but please remember again that the NTSB is the sole authority on accident investigations, so take this video with a grain of salt. And for all you fellow pilots out there, please stay safe. Thanks.